Aaron Jarrett, Todd Austin, and Lucas Santos. And we are underway. First possession of the game goes to the home side. And the matchup right out of the chute, Lamont Butler and Elijah Martin, they played against each other in the national semifinal 2 years ago. San Diego State the win over Florida Atlantic on the shot by Butler.
Florida is a much improved defensive team from last season. They protect the rim, do a good job of loading to the ball.
Andrew Carr got a pretty good look at it. It couldn't hit it, and it's tipped down to the Gators. These are two outstanding offensive teams. Clayton, Martin, Richard, between them are averaging almost 47 points per game. Walter Clayton Jr. with a great shot fake, can't hit it, but the offensive rebound and putback will go for Ruben Chinyelu, and that is part of the game plan for the Gators, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the nation.
They get 41% of their own misses. That's top 3 in the country.
Butler tried to scoop it up from underneath the rim, nowhere to go, and it's 5-on-4 right now for the Gators.
And for Florida, as long as they don't turn it over and get a shot up, they do such a good job on the offensive glass. That's a gigantic part of their offense.
12 of their 13 wins have come by at least 13 points. The only one that was closer than that was a 6-point win over North Carolina in Charlotte in December. Good defense, out of bounds, still Florida ball with like grateful or gratitude or some version of that word when talking about what it means to be in an environment like this, in a league like this, against a team like this, and Florida's off to a good start.
Well, Walter Clayton Jr. had a great game here last year. He made 6 threes, but that's just too easy. When you're the inbounds guy, you inbound it and come back and get it for an easy 3.
They had 2 great games between these two programs last year, each winning on the other team's home court. Kentucky by 2 at Gainesville, Florida in overtime here in Lexington. A steal by Owe.
Chinyelu with another offensive rebound. Owe just took it away from him late.
Owe, the leading scorer, misses the runner, and the follow is going to go for Amari Williams to get kicked. As we mentioned off the top, the only scheduled regular season meeting between the two. Of course, the SEC's gotten bigger and bigger. This is the first time in 60 years these two programs will only meet once during the regular season. Condon open for a 3. And it's out of...
And he's pushing around Amari Williams right now. No fouling. But he's also a physical screener. Chinyelu does a great job of getting guys open.
Chinyelu takes a little bump from Williams and rattles it home to make it a 4-point lead for the Gators.
Just can't let him get that deep. Chinyelu is not an offensive player. Only averages about 5 points per game, mostly off stickbacks.
Golden told us yesterday at practice they'll look at his numbers after the game, and he's like 5-4, 6-5. But then they'll watch the tape the next day and see how many different ways he impacted winning for the Gators.
So especially with his physicality on the glass and defensively. Good rim protector.
Condon with a nice shot fake, gets inside and draws the foul. Front, Mark Pope referred to Denzel Aberdeen before the game today as terrifying. The Kentucky staff as a whole, they've got a ton of respect for Aberdeen when he comes in off the bench.
But the defensive improvement from last year to this year for Florida has been really impressive. They could score last year, they couldn't guard.
Andrew Carr will miss the 3. Jackson
are doing a great job inside the line of challenging shots, walling up, making you take tough twos. And that gives the guards the ability, because they can defend the rim, the guards on the perimeter can press up, and they get a lot of steals.
Elijah Martin, and a nice seal there by Chinyelu to open up that laneway for Martin.
He is a downhill driver and one tough player. These 3 guards can all score, and they do it differently.
They've all been around, and they've combined for over 4,400 points in their careers. The bucket goes to the other end for Robinson.
Kentucky's going to have to work really hard to make hard cuts and go through that physicality, but really what the Wildcats need to do is get to the second side of the floor. Florida can really muck things up on the first side.
Knocked away by Owe. In transition, the Cats. Robinson misses the 3. Owe had it.
For missing 2 straight games with an injury, he was magnificent.
Brandon Garrison has checked into the game for Kentucky, number 10 in white. There's a kick ball on Martin, so they'll reset the shot clock to 20.
And he brings a ton of physicality on the ball against Lamont Butler.
Carr up top, wide open. Tries another three, and this time he buries it.
You give Andrew Carr a little bit of time to get his feet set, and he's a very good three-point shooter. If you can hustle him up a little bit, he only shoots 30% from three, but he's a better shooter than that, and it's largely because he has time to get his feet set.
Mark Pope loves his leadership, loves his decision-making as well. How about the spin of the finish for Alex Condon, the sophomore from Perth, Australia?
A little open side pick and roll. Lamont Butler had to switch off onto him. That's just no contest near the basket.
Chinyelu rips down the rebound. The Kentucky faithful wanted to travel. And now it's Condon and Carr. They'll be battling all day long as Condon misses this one. Yet another offensive rebound, though, and the putback for Chinyelu.
That's 3 offensive rebounds for Chinyelu. He has been dominant in the paint at both ends of the floor.
And 5 already for the team, less than 5.5 minutes into the game.
And 2 of those are what they call dead ball offensive rebounds. The ball went out of bounds, and they keep it. But Chinyelu's grabbed all the live ones.
Robinson with a long.
Garrison is a big, strong inside player. Chinyelu has been dominant in the paint.
And again, second in Division I in offensive rebounding percentage. They get back 41% of their misses.
And it's not just the big guys, great pass.
And a great backdoor cut, and Denzel Aberdeen, the junior from Orlando, is on the board.
You think that Aberdeen's going to come off for a handoff, and instead cuts it short, goes backdoor, and just a beautiful delivery by Condon.
And what a start for the Gators, playing their style of basketball here in a hostile environment.
And so physical.
Kobe Brea, one of the nation's best three-point shooters, 49% from beyond the arc on the season.
I think he is the best shooter in the country. He can't take enough threes.
Richard to a cutting Thomas. How cool will lay it in. And again, good ball movement by the Gators.
Florida is just cutting up Kentucky right now with their ball screens. Just cutting them up.
Butler off the front of the rim, and the rebound down to Houck. It is Houck who has come in for Chinyelu. Houck is a very versatile 6'9" sophomore from New Oxford, PA.
A multi-skilled big guy. Both Houck and Condon are multi-skilled, and Condon can grab a defensive rebound, bring the ball up himself.
Yeah, the bigs can handle, the guards can rebound. It's a very tight 8-man rotation. At the free throw line is one of them. 46% last year, 82% this year.
He grades out as the most efficient offensive player that Florida has. His offensive rating is the highest on the Gators roster.
You know, one of the reasons for that 6'7" senior, a transfer from Fairleigh Dickinson, is into the game and now for the Wildcats. Robinson into the paint, can't get a shot off over the length of Sam Alexis, who has checked in for Florida.
Boy, that was a really good job by Will Richard to chase him off the line and into the big guys in the paint, force a tough 2.
Butler inside, and Williams to finish.
Kentucky scored on that possession, but they got no look from 3, and that's what Florida wants to do, is take away their 3-point attack.
We expect an up-and-down, high-scoring game. Both teams in the top 10 of the nation in points per game and offensive efficiency. They both play at a good pace. This one should get up into the 80s, you would think.
Well, Will Richard has done a nice job. He's staying with Kobe Brea, not helping off and getting over screens.
Williams, nice look away, and the slam. And Kentucky back within 5. It is bedlam here at Rupp Arena. Clayton Jr., the long 3.
He is just a big-time player. Can hit dribble-up threes in transition. He can score off of screens.
Almanor tries to answer at the other end. And here comes Clayton, a couple of years at Iona, second year with Florida, second team All-SEC a year ago. There's Houck for 3, and the lead is into double digits now for the Gators.
Both Houck and Condon, as big guys, 6'9" and 6'11", shoot over 40% from 3.
Butler on the drive, runs into a wall, but wide open is Brea, and that is costly. That is not the defense Todd Golden wants to see, leaving one of the best shooters in the country wide open in the corner.
Yeah, that's impossible. That is a Kobe Brea layup.
Clayton the miss, Williams the board.
The first thing when you have the ball, or when you're on defense, is you got to find Kobe Brea. That's job number one.
And Aberdeen called for the foul to games, but as impressive as that was and is, Jay, it's all ratcheted up a level now that league play is underway. Williams to the rim with authority and met by Chinyelu.
Boy, what a block by Chinyelu on the keeper.
Talk about rim protection. He's been a difference maker this year in Florida's defense.
Transfer from Washington State. Again, Todd Golden wants 4 bigs up there he can rotate through to keep the pressure on the offensive glass. We asked him yesterday, has that always been part of your philosophy? He said, no, going back to San Francisco, they saw it in the West Coast Conference from Gonzaga. He watched Mark Few's teams and admired how many big bodies he could rotate through. Brea, another rejection at the rim. And it's a shot clock violation with a defensive stand by the Gators.
Boy, Florida has just built a wall at the rim, but watch Chinyelu here. Takes it right out of the hands of Amari Williams as he goes in for that left-handed jam. That is a big-time block.
Clayton with a little floater around and out of the rebound down to Otega Owe.
That is tough to guard, that little horn spade, because he can curl it or go off it.
Great crossover and finish by Owe, and he is headed to the line. A lot of weapons both teams do. Kentucky has 6 players averaging in double figures on the year.
Sticking with this horn set. I think Kentucky's got to get out and pressure these big guys.
Aberdeen. And a foul underneath on playing days is talking about that call with one of the officials right now. It's number 2 on Williams. A really good look there for Martin, won't go down, and back comes Kentucky.
For Kentucky, they've got to get all 5 guys to the defensive glass. The guards have to help the big guys here.
A wing 3, no, but a weak side follow for Owe to make it a 3-point game. You know how sometimes games that start early don't have quite the juice, don't have quite the feel? This one does not have that issue at all. It is a scene here in Lexington. Brea ties it. An 11-0 run for the Cats. Martin cut off on the baseline, and they turn it over.
Kentucky has really ratcheted up the defense the last 4 or 5 possessions. And that's what it's going to take to beat this Florida team here in Rupp.
Butler swings it back out for Owe. Still 12 on the shot clock. Owe, what strength as he banks it home.
Crosses over to get back to that right hand where he can be devastated.
Richard misses the 3, and Almanor down with the rebound for the Wildcats.
Big time block out by Ansley Almanor. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take body on body when every shot goes up.
Owe again! In time, each and every game, Otega Owe has now reached double figures for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it started with defensive energy on the part of Kentucky, and then all 5 guys got on the defensive glass. They shut off the offensive glass for Florida, which is a huge part of the Gators offense.
If you're Todd Golden, what do you want to see at the offensive end?
I think they should go to more ball screens because Kentucky had a really tough time guarding that early on in the game.
Condon for 3, not there. Chinyelu, offensive rebound. Back up and in.
That's his 4th offensive rebound in this first half. He has been a monster on the offensive glass.
And that will snap the long drought for the Gators and get them back within 3. Brea behind the handoff, left open. And a break for the Gators that he didn't knock that one down.
Yeah, Florida got lucky there. You cannot go under any action on Kobe Brea. You have to chase him over the top, make him get inside that line.
4 years at Dayton, two-time A-10 sixth man of the year, and now a huge, hoping to get him back later in the season. So for a couple of games, they were without Creesa and Butler, and Jackson Robinson had to slide over and play the point into the game, and you'll see him here and there as freshman Travis Perry. A huge score in Kentucky high school basketball. A lay-in for Garrison.
Playing behind Isaac Jones, who's in the NBA now.
So the Gators still have Condon and Houck up front. They've got a good rotation, good depth, as we mentioned. Another backdoor cut. Richard got it onto the rim, but not over, and it's Kentucky ball.
Yeah, he doesn't miss many of those. That's just a little Iverson cut over the top and turn the corner rather than shoot out to the wing for the catch.
This is Perry, again, a huge score in high school, better than 5,300 points in his high school career. That is a Kentucky record. Brea can't get the shot off. Now Carr, 5 on the shot clock. Robinson, Brea. Count it!
Well, you take your eyes off Kobe Brea just for a second and think about giving help, and Kentucky is going to find him.
Martin tries to answer at the other end. Condon the rebound.
Brea could not block him out. Condon just went right over the top.
Condon to Clayton. Back to Condon, who will lay it in and one.
Boy, what a beautiful pass on that.
He committed to basketball, also played Australian rules football and water polo. So a very diverse, unique skill set athletically for Alex Condon.
And I don't think this is an overstatement. The best cricket player on the floor.
Probably the best water polo player on the floor, too. Going to go out on that limb. Knocked away, out of bounds, still Kentucky.
3 years.
Perry gets it back, puts it up. And Condon the rebound as Robinson was flying in trying to take it away from him. Crossover by Clayton, and he buries it to make it a 2-point game.
Just an effortless shooter from deep, and when he gets hot, he can really get on a roll.
Clayton averaging 17, now into double figures with 10. Brea on the drive this time, left hand off the glass and good.
He's such an outstanding shooter, you have to press up on him. If he can get a few of those, that may loosen some things up a little bit.
Brea having himself a day. He's got 14. Martin fouled on the drive.
Well, since conference expansion, Dan, there's not been a conference like this. I mean, 15 of the 16 teams are ranked in the top 60 of the net ratings that the NCAA uses to make decisions on the NCAA tournament. It's ridiculous, the strength of this league from top to bottom.
Great backdoor cut and the lay-in for Robinson. There are only 3 remaining undefeated teams. They're all in the SEC. You're looking at one of them in Florida. You'll see one of the other ones next in #1 Tennessee when they host Arkansas. And then 6 o'clock Eastern on the SEC network tonight. The third, Oklahoma. They'll be in Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama as Martin knocks down a big 3 for the Gators.
Martin needed that one. He and Richard were 0 for 4 from 3, while Walter Clayton Jr. was the one knocking him down for Florida. But Florida tries to keep the ball to one side. They load to the ball. So if you can get it to the second side, you got an opportunity.
Boy, Martin just took it away from Owe, though. The rebound for Garrison, who's going to get Williams minutes the rest of the half. Ooh, and Butler inadvertently tripped there.
Need to trip you, I'll let you know.
Yeah. 2:45 to go in what has been an extremely fun and competitive first half. And there's Thomas Houck called for the foul, and Andrew Carr, who misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and Condon down with a rebound.
Is that an announcer jinx when I mentioned his engagement?
No. I think that is beyond the scope of your powers, no offense. Martin.
What a steal.
Butler, outstanding on-ball defender, almost took it away from him. Richard flies in from the baseline and lays it in.
Boy, we are seeing some guys just balling out there.
Robinson answers with a three at the other end for Kentucky. What a game, and what a way to get conference play underway here in the SEC.
That's the Jackson Robinson I remember from BYU. He has not shot the ball as well as he's capable yet.
Martineau out of
side of the hoop, and then Jackson Robinson, he does not need much time, especially in transition. And he is only shooting 30% from three this year, but he's essentially a 40% career three-point shooter.
And Kentucky, as Robinson hits again, Kentucky is an impressive 7 of 16, 44% from three. And now Butler takes it away from Clayton, lays it in and one. When Mark Pope took the job, he had no team, no players. And if you ask him, he'll say Lamont Butler is the guy he had to get, and he got him. And all of a sudden, it's gone from a tie back to an 8-point lead for the Cats.
This is a really important minute 21 for Florida.
They need some stops and scores to get back in this so Kentucky doesn't stretch this lead out going into halftime. Remember, Kentucky's got the possession arrow, so unless there's a tie-up, they start the second half with the ball.
Butler from 18. It will go, and it's a 10-point lead. On the strength of a 10-0 run. They've had a 16-0 run and a 10-0 run already here in the game. Kentucky by 8, final minute of the first half. Top 10 matchup here at Rupp. Number 6 Florida, number 10 Kentucky. Owe left hand, followed by Card. He's going to the line.
Anytime Florida's had
any fun things about both of these teams, really, is harnessed to both, is in any given game, Jay, they've both got 5, 6, 7 guys, any one of whom could step up and be the guy on that day.
Yeah, to have that kind of balance, and then you can go to the hot hand. It's a nice way to play.
Florida can run it right down here and try to cut into this deficit.
Box out's really important for Kentucky after the initial shot.
Clayton turned it over. Butler again. And what a way. We are ready to go. The second half here of our Sonic Blockbuster. It's Florida with the first possession, facing a 10-point deficit. Again, the Gators, one of 3 remaining undefeated teams. They're all in the SEC. Tennessee, which will host Arkansas next on ESPN, and Oklahoma, which is at Alabama this evening on the SEC network. And a 3 for Martin on the first trip of the second half for the Gators.
And the 3 because of the offensive rebound. The kick out, and then when you drive it, that was an excellent shot fake by Walter Clayton Jr.
And now Martin down with the rebound for Florida. They're looking to push. Clayton pulls up for 3. And it will go, in 6 very quick points for Florida here to start the second half.
He is so good at dribbling into a shot in transition.
Amari Williams with the ball. Great feed to the cutting Butler, and another example of how Mark Pope runs offense through his bigs.
This Kentucky team can initiate offense all over the floor. They can do it in the post. They get great split action, and Lamont Butler with a
Todd Golden in his 3rd year as the head coach in Gainesville. Again, they have beaten the likes of Carolina, Wake Forest, Arizona State, Florida State, and others, but they knew what a test they would get here at Lexington, and likewise the Cats knew what kind of a test they'd get from the undefeated Gators. Williams, the lefty, draws a foul.
Chinyelu really getting
1 of 2, and another rebound for Chinyelu. Condon, the handoff to Martin. Clayton rises up, misses the 3, but a foul is called. And a 5-point game.
You must be great on a no-hitter.
Williams looking for Robinson, can't get it to him. Now Butler. Robinson got it. It's a three.
He has been hot in this game. If you're not right on him, he is going to pull the trigger on it. Jackson Robinson is really a good player.
The Cats already have 5 different players with at least 8 points in this game. Robinson is up to a dozen.
That three-point line is such a threat for Kentucky. You really have to fan out the three-point shooters, and that opens up drives and cuts to the basket.
Richard drives and lays it in. Boy, when Will Richard wants to get to the rim, good luck trying to keep him away from it.
And all created by a little up fake.
Carr spins.
What a pass.
Williams up and in with the left hand, and it is an 8-point game. Boy, Amari Williams so good at getting back to that right shoulder.
Just a great wraparound pass by Andrew Carr.
High-level basketball here early on a Saturday in Lexington. Through the hands of Chinyelu. Martin for 3. And an offensive rebound by Richard. It's not just the bigs who can go get it for Florida. Richard for 3. And another offensive rebound. Martin will try again and knock it down.
And that shows for Florida when they don't turn it over, and they have turned it over a bit in this game. They have such a great opportunity when they get a shot up to grab an offensive board.
Owe couldn't finish. Back come the Gators. Clayton.
Wow. That was in and...
Martin with the ball, pressure on Perry, who finds Garrison. Up over the top and too far over the top for Carr. It goes.
That was the pass to Brandon Garrison. Wasn't a good one. He had to reach back for it. So probably rushed that a little bit, trying to get it into Carr in the high-low action.
Martin into the paint. And the whistle blows, and he will be at the free throw line.
And how do you keep your team confident, knowing, hey, we're playing well? It's not going to be all result driven. It's going to be how you're playing and how you're
in Fayetteville against Arkansas. But every team's got stretches like that.
Exactly. One of the issues that Florida's got is so many of the top flight games they're playing are on the road.
Yeah. This is their only meeting with Kentucky as Perry knocks down a 3. As you can see, Mr. Basketball in the state of Kentucky, as we mentioned, over 5,000 points scored in his high school career.
And that's important for Kentucky. They've got to get a couple of the freshmen to step forward with Kerr Kriisa out and take a bit of
points against Brown in Kentucky's last game. 6-point lead for the Wildcats, just about 5 minutes into the second half here at Rupp. Almanor in and out. He can shoot it. Ansley Almanor hit 168 threes his last 2 years at Fairleigh Dickinson.
Boy, what a job by Butler to get over the top of that screen.
Nice shot there by Elijah Martin, and Florida's not going away.
This is a game where you just have to grind and hang in there on the road. Give yourself a chance down the stretch.
Brea, Richard giving chase. 10 to shoot. Butler almost loses his balance and is called for the travel. Some subs for both teams, including Denzel Aberdeen, the junior from Orlando, number 11 in blue, back into the game for the Gators. He is the 4th guard. He can spell any one of the other 3. He moves Clayton off the ball when Clayton's in there with him. Clayton's gone to the bench now. Another tough turnaround for Elijah Martin.
Well, Elijah Martin just has a furrowed brow out there. And he's looking to take on this Wildcat team by himself.
Williams right into the chest of Condon to finish.
Boy, talk about a strong drive. That's using physicality on the offensive end. He just knocked Condon straight back.
It's Martin again. Good help by Williams. Martin for three. Offensive rebound, Richard, and he lays it back in.
But Brea never got
And an offensive rebounding percentage.
and they've turned those offensive rebounds into points.
Yep.
And a couple of the stick back buckets have been threes where they kick it out to an open three-point shooter.
11 offensive rebounds, 22 second chance points as Carr is fouled.
Well, you think of
In Spanish, the Bobcats and the Bison or Bison?
I say Bison.
I say Bison. We can't agree on anything, except the ice cream's pretty good.
The ice cream's
The
great.
ice cream's pretty good. Martin in the corner. And Howe did not like the fact that the ball was awarded to Florida. Martin with Carr on him. Another basket. What a second half for Elijah Martin, and he's now got 18 in the game.
And he's done it all with really tough twos. Excellent use of pivoting to create space.
12 of the 18, Jay, here in the second half, and it's a one-point game. Williams. Up over Alexis and in. And put Chinyelu back into the game.
Well, Alexis is a good player. Chinyelu is way more physical.
Martin's been the man in the second half for the Gators. A three over Carr, and he's just about there already with 12 minutes still to go in this one. And now they're looking to slow Kentucky down just a bit.
The 1-2-2 three-quarter court pressure from Florida. And that's less time they have to guard in the half court. Kentucky down to about 15 on the clock before they make their first pass.
Away defended by Martin. Gets a piece of the paint, got him in the air, and scores. And Owe and Martin talking to one another on their way back down the court. Those are two physically and mentally tough guys. Aberdeen is wide open and a break for Kentucky.
Everybody went with the cutter, just a miscommunication.
Owe sees some space. Chinyelu another block and got him again, but now a foul. A 5-point lead for Kentucky. Kentucky's led by many as 10. Back in the first half, Florida led by as many as 11.
Lamont Butler guarding Elijah Martin, who's been the hot hand for Florida in this second half.
Richard back to Aberdeen. Uses the ball screen from Chinyelu. Good defense by Owe. Shot clock's running down. And Martin misses it. It's a shot clock violation.
A really good defensive and any shot they wanted. But that has not been the case over the last maybe 20 minutes or so.
Williams keeps it. Now Owe. It'll go. Another bucket for Otega Owe. He's got 16. Martin a tough one. And Williams the rebound. Boy, and does it feel like Florida desperately needs a stop. They're not going to get it. Butler lays it in. Tipped by Carr. And Kentucky's got it again. Williams comes up with a loose ball. And Kentucky winning the battles right now.
Kentucky's cutting has been excellent in this game. Hard cuts. Some of them are sacrificial cuts to get others open. But their cutting has been beautiful to watch.
Butler misses the three, and a foul underneath on Houck of the Gators.
And another beautiful delivery by Williams. Not enough pressure on him to discourage that pass.
Carr's got Clayton on him and scores. It's an 11-point lead, and it's another 10-0 run for the Wildcats.
Boy, that's what you call poise in the post, that beautiful shot fake to get the defenders in the air.
How does Florida try to respond?
Good switch by Carr onto Richard.
Chinyelu one-on-one with Williams. Clayton had to force it, and he hit it with 1 on the shot clock.
He is just a big-time shooter. Maybe that gets him going a little bit for Florida because he needs to get going.
Remember, he had 23 here in a win for the Gators last year. He's got 20 today. And he's got it again. Driving this time, too strong off the glass, but the whistle blew.
But why shouldn't you see them on this stage? Because their coaches would go if they got the opportunity.
From an 11-point deficit down to 6 now, thanks to Walter Clayton Jr. He's defending Kobe Brea at the other end. Perry has returned for Kentucky. Hit a 3 earlier this half.
That was the same play they just ran that got him that 3.
Brea gets free just for a moment, and that's enough. He is 5 for 6 from three-point range. And again, Florida.
What we're going to see all year long in the Southeastern Conference.
Again, Arkansas and Tennessee coming right after this one here on ESPN. Carl Ravitch, Jimmy Dykes are in Knoxville.
Boy, Kentucky doing a really nice job of spreading the floor with their 5-out look.
Garrison, another backdoor cut, this time by Robinson. Trying to gather it, it's still loose.
But look for the screener. There it is, look for the screener.
Garrison, no! And Condon did a good job waiting for that to come off the rim before he grabbed it. It is Florida ball down by 7. Tough one for Clayton. He can make tough ones. He's got 24.
Yeah, he lives off tough ones. Both he and Martin have been outstanding on the offensive end.
They've combined for 47 points. Perry in there to spell Butler again. Brea knocks down another one. Kobe Brea, 6 for 7 from 3.
He's ridiculous. The best shooter in the country.
And the opposing coach says it over and over again. Don't give him any space. Don't give him any space. But he finds it. Aberdeen into the paint. Look at the quickness on him.
And that's your 4th guard. He comes into the game and injects energy. He's probably their best on-ball defender.
6-point game. 6:15 to go.
So Kentucky getting really good movement.
Good help there by Haupt. Brea kicks it out. Garrison back to Brea. Trying to get the shot off. And he does! Unbelievable game for Kobe Brea. A career high 7 made three-pointers.
He cannot shoot enough as far as I'm concerned.
Haupt, Condon the rebound. Haupt with a great cut, and he's going to the line.
Going to draw so much attention. That opens up things for cuts for his teammates. Talk about stretching a defense. You have to devote a defender to Brea, and he can't help off. Now it's Will Richard.
Brea back out beyond the line. He's got a big on him in Condon. Here he goes. In and out. And Condon, defended by Brea, takes advantage of the side. Chinyelu, the offensive rebound. And then out of bounds, it is Florida ball. He's got 8 rebounds today, 5 of them at the offensive end. Clayton got it! And it's a 4-point game.
And not surprisingly, Chinyelu was the one that got him open with that physical screen on Lamont Butler.
27 now for Walter Clayton Jr., 17 of them here in the second half. Carr alone. And it's Florida ball. Elijah Martin with the rebound.
This feels like a big possession for Florida.
Boy, both teams have played so hard and so well in this one. And another foul. It's on Owe, and Clayton will go to the line. 9 points and brought the Gators back within 2.
He had 33 last year against Colorado in the NCAA tournament. He can put numbers up.
Here's Brea again. 4 minutes to go in regulation. Good help by Chinyelu. Garrison open beyond the arc. Now Butler. Lob up top, deflected away. Kentucky has turned those turnovers into 20 points.
Yeah, they've been very efficient scoring off those turnovers.
Lamont Butler knocks down a corner 3.
Boy, it's so often the inbounder that's open off of that sort of action, and Lamont Butler making Florida pay.
Kentucky 13 of 27, 48% from 3. Clayton leaves it short, and Butler's got it. Knocked out of bounds. Did they get a foul there? And it's back to 7.
There is plenty of time for Florida. They've gotten some good action off that little fade up top.
2-man game. Martin and Hauk. And how about Hauk showing some strength to get to the rim?
That was strength. Got the ball right in the middle of the floor and really used his body well. He's a different player from last year to this year.
Hauk now with 9. Robinson a miss. Clayton the rebound, but it's knocked away. And Kentucky's got it. Another block at the rim. Martin with a full head of steam. Condon. Guarded by Garrison, lost it on the way up. A foul is 1 of 2. Butler. Martin recovers. Now Carr. Up and in. Beautiful move in the paint by Andrew Carr.
Got such a great feel in the post to go off contact. He got all the way to the other side of the basket from the left block.
2 minutes in regulation. Condon fakes the 3 and draws another foul.
Williams cannot.
Condon left it short. Brea's got it. So not only do they not get a point, also Todd Golden was going to get Chinyelu back into the game at the defensive end, but he can't make that change. Butler in control for the Cats, now Brea. Richard on him. Carr behind the back. Looking for help, hits Butler. 3 to shoot. Carr for 3. Got it!
For playing this early. It'd be a lot easier if the players drank coffee. Most of them don't.
1:10 to go. Seconds are ticking away. Shot clock at 10. Clayton taking matters into his own hands, and he banks it home. He's got 31.
Boy, he's got everything in that bag.
Butler spins on Hauk. And will go to the line for 2. Regular season, but who knows? Maybe they'll see each other in Nashville in the SEC tournament, or even beyond that, deep in the NCAA tournament. Clayton again. Another offensive rebound. Richard sticks it back in.
Boy, the offensive glass. He can take it right out of your hands.
Brea into Carr, back to Brea, ahead to Butler. They get it over. Well done by the Wildcats. 7-point game, 30 seconds to go. Clayton. Foul by Carr. Missed them both. And looking up to the ceiling.
Percentage, but he's a tough dude, and you don't see him missing in this situation.
And it will indeed be Butler going to the line. Butler now with 19 and a career high 8 assists. Martin from the corner hits the three.
It wasn't like there wasn't pressure.
6 to go, 6-point game. Into Robinson, and they'll foul him right away.
Jackson Robinson.
And the lead is 8. Clayton scoops it up and eventually in. Kentucky at 58%, Florida at 55. Jump ball corralled by Carr, and that'll do it. What a way to get SEC play